Once again, welcome. I'm Darren Fitzgerald, owner and executive producer at Artie Media, and we're here to talk about, among other things, real goals. So what is the most powerful analytical tool we have available to us? I'm not talking about Google Analytics, admittedly a powerful tool. I'm talking about the question itself. And why is it so powerful? Because when we don't know the answer to a question, we can ask. And with any luck, someone will share the answer with us. Doesn't it feel good when you get the answer to a question that you desperately need? And on the flip side of the coin, how satisfying is it when someone has a question for you and you're able to answer them? It doesn't matter whether you're selling a product, whether you're providing a service. Your clients have a question in their mind. You're answering the question. They're asking, how can I solve this problem or take advantage of this opportunity? Right now, you're the client. You have questions. What is video production? Why do I need video for my business? What is video strategy? And how do I implement it? What does this have to do with real goals? And how the heck am I supposed to achieve business goals with targeted video content? Fair question. Well, I'm going to answer that question first by telling you a story, and then by introducing you to a video marketing strategy that's built upon what you do every day, answering questions. The story's about my first client. He's a general contractor who had a problem and an opportunity. Let's call him Mike. Mike's problem was that he had an aging website. His opportunity, he had a very well thought of business with a thriving word-of-mouth referral system and a stellar reputation. In fact, that's how I found out about Mike, through my realtor. So one day, his foreman is doing some work for us, installing a cabinet, and I'm doing some painting. And I ask the foreman, has Mike thought about updating his website? And has he considered using video? And he said, well, we've definitely thought about updating the website, but just haven't thought about video at all. So that conversation came to its natural ending, and I continued to paint. Flash forward 2 weeks, the phone rings, and it is the foreman. He says, so you do websites, right? Well, yeah, we develop websites. But we generally only develop websites when we are producing a video for that website. So he said, well, okay, let's set up a meeting, call the office manager. So we set up the meeting. 2 weeks later, everybody's there, all the principals. Mike is there. And we quickly determine exactly what we need for the development of his website, exactly what they want. And then Mike asks a question, why do I need video? What's the purpose? Great question, Mike. Why do we watch any video? We watch it because there's value there, because there is valuable content. So the first lesson that we really need to understand is we always have to create value. It doesn't matter which type of video we're going to make, always create value. How do we create value? And Mike hit it on the head. It's really all about purpose. And purpose and value are really sort of a reflection of each other. So we need to serve a purpose with the video so that the purpose of the video becomes the value for the viewer. And we believe that you should always serve one of these purposes when you're making a video. Solve a problem, answer a question, educate the viewer, enrich their experience, make them feel something. So the more Mike and I talked about this, we came to the conclusion that yes, you know what? We could probably do several of these things with a brand video, if not all of them. Great. So what is a brand video? A brand video is who you are, what you do, your story, what makes you special. So perfect. All we have to do now is define Mike's goals. We always have to have goals because the best videos are those that achieve specific business goals, real goals. So if you take away nothing else today, you must always achieve business goals with your video. And what I'm going to do now is show you how identifying goals helps you to create a pathway for successful video creation, implementation, and measurement of your success. And I want to give a quick shout out to Mac Fogelson. She's the CEO at Mac Web Solutions. They're based out on the West Coast. And she has a similar framework that she uses to help her clients identify their goals. So really a big thanks to Mac, because this has helped to really clarify my process, this framework. So now what we're going to do is we're going to step through and define each one of these goals. And we're also going to continue to talk about what Mike's goals were. So visionary goals, this is the grand plan. Where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years? What did Mike want? He wanted to become the #1 general contractor on the South Shore. Well, is that really overblown? Is that too much? Well, not really. Mike is commonly considered in the top 5, if not in the top 3. And then there are a slew of people who will swear up and down that he is #1. Let's move on to company goals. This is where we need to identify a specific metric that we want to affect over a given period of time. Mike wanted to increase the number of new job leads by 25% over the next 2 years. And then we move into brand goals, and that's really all about perception, how you're perceived, and how do you want to affect perception of your brand? How do you want it to change, improve? For Mike, he wanted to build on his reputation as the most trusted, experienced, and responsive general contractor on the South Shore. Great, excellent. This is the area it's all about messaging. What are you trying to say? Now we move into campaign goals, and this is where the goal of the video itself lives. This is where we say, okay, we want to create a certain type of video which changes or enriches perceptions and compels the viewer to take a specific action. Great. Mike wanted to create a brand video which includes testimonials, the social proof, and builds likability, trust in the contractor, and compels viewers to schedule a consultation. Now that's a lot, because we had a lot of things that we wanted to accomplish. So if we really have to get down to crunch time and bring that all together, we want to create a brand video which compels viewers to schedule a consultation. Simple as that. Now we're going to get down to granular goals. These are the smallest goals we have. These are on-page goals. Somebody watches the video, what action do you want them to take? And we're going to talk about minimum viable conversion, and then we're going to move on to ultimate conversion. And I want to give another shout out to Phil Nottingham, who is a video strategist at Distilled. He's a great thinker in this space. He coined this phrase, minimum viable conversion. Now, traditionally, we think about conversion as a sale, add to cart, purchase, done. But for our purposes, we're going to start to think about conversion as any action. So someone has watched your video. What's the minimum viable conversion? What is the MVC? What is the smallest action that you want your viewer to take after they've watched the video? Great, we know what MVC is. Now let's talk about context for a minute. We know what content is. But context is the where and when is the viewer watching the video. And I don't mean the place or the time. I mean psychologically, where are they at? Well, we like to think about that in terms of the buyer's journey. I'm sure most everyone here is familiar with the buyer's journey, but I'm going to step through it really quickly so we're all on the same page. Awareness. The client or prospect has a problem or an opportunity, and they're trying to give it a name. They want to know what it is. So they start to dig in, consideration. They start to do some research so that they now have named the problem or identified the opportunity. Then we move on to the decision stage. The decision stage is they're down to 2 or 3 service providers or products, and they're close. And all they need is just another piece of information to push them over to the edge into the next stage, which is to bang, make the purchase. Then a recent addition to this, fairly recent to the buyer's journey, is advocacy. This is when someone leaves a positive comment on your Facebook page or writes a great review of your services or your product, or maybe shares your video or gives you a word of mouth referral. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the minimum viable conversion along the buyer's journey for Mike's video. And I'm going to give you an example for each step of the way. We're starting with his brand video in the awareness and consideration stages as one, because that is normally where most people find the brand video, especially if it's on the home page. And that's where we like to see it above the fold. So our specific example, Ginny and Joe Jr. move to Hingham. They buy an antique, but they really want to do a renovation on the bathroom and the kitchen. They have a word of mouth referral. They heard about Mike. They go, they watch his brand video on the homepage. What's the minimum viable conversion that we want them to take? We want them to go to Mike's page about bathroom and kitchen renovation. Look at all those photos and see all the wonderful information about his process. Great. So now let's move over to the decision process. Let's talk about Bob. Bob has been thinking about a major addition and renovation for a while. He stepped out and spoke to 2 different contractors. One, he wasn't that thrilled with. That's okay. And the other one, he said, okay, we'll take an estimate. But you know what? Bob really wants 2 estimates. So he does a little bit more asking around. Mike's name keeps popping up. So he goes to Mike's page, watches the brand video. What is the minimum viable conversion we want for Bob? We want Bob to schedule a consultation, because that's what Bob wants. He wants another estimate, so we get the ball rolling there. Great. So now we move on to the purchase phase. And I know you're all going, wait. How can a brand video have an effect after somebody's already made a purchase? Well, here's the scenario. All of a sudden, Mike's office sends out an email blast saying, we have a new website, we have a new video, and they send it to all their previous clients. So here we are, Mary and Joe Sr. have had some work done by Mike in the past. They love his work. They get the email, they go to the website, they watch the brand video, and then they kind of look at each other and go, you know, we have been putting off this project long enough. Let's build the pool house. And so, boom, minimum viable conversion as they set up and schedule a consultation with Mike. So now let's continue with Mary and Joe Sr. They also remember, oh, well, Ginny and Joe Jr. need some work done. So let's make sure that we give them a shout and tell them, you definitely got to see Mike's video. So word of mouth referral, and the cycle is complete. And this is what we love about the brand video in general, is that it can apply at every point along the buyer's journey. So it's an incredibly valuable tool. Now let's talk about ultimate conversion. Somebody's just watched Mike's brand video. What's the best possible thing that could happen? Pie in the sky. You can ask for the moon, anything. Mike, he wants them to schedule a consultation. That's where it all starts for him. So we can also see that with the ultimate conversion, with the brand video, it can have an impact, again, anywhere along the buyer's journey. So now let's step in and let's take a look and meet Mike.
That's how we started, honest to God. The first 5 years in business, a lady called me in to install a microwave. She says, oh, I'm sure you probably never come out for this. Well, we did. We installed the microwave, and 2 years later, we basically built her a new house. I'm Mike Handrahan, the president and owner of Michael Handrahan Remodeling Incorporated, located in Hingham, Massachusetts, where we have been for the past 32 years. First thing I say to the people is, go on our website. You'll get a little bit of history, you'll get a little bit of customer experience from that.
My grandparents hired Mike to redo one of their bathrooms, and then my parents hired him, and my grandparents, and then my parents redid their house and had Mike do all of that. My aunt redid her house, and then ultimately we redid our house.
We do every job from little small, change out a shelf in a closet, up to a multi-million-dollar custom home, everything in between. We've always prided ourselves on that, we always will. There's no job too small. We specialize in windows, bathroom redos, kitchen redos, closets, pretty much anything you can think of, we will take care of.
I mean, I think Mike is brilliant at what he does. And the team that he comes with is also unbelievable. From his subcontractors to his team of vendors. They would come here and show me things. I could go and look at different things. I felt like there was such a support system for me making my decisions and for ultimately everything getting done.
We have our own custom millwork shop where we can replicate moldings. We do any kind of built-in, from kitchen cabinets down to a little small vanity, mantles, pretty much anything that can be made, we can make in our shop. From custom decks, high-end decks, to railings, to any sort of outdoor living space. We do it ourselves, knowing when we're going to need it, we'll have it ready for us.
I've never done anything like this before, and so having him come in and give, solid 30+ years of experience, offer that into our project, that was invaluable.
The greatest satisfaction being in business over 30 years is being able to please people. Not only that, but coming back and pleasing their children, in some cases, their children. If we can do that, I find myself that we've made a success and a stamp in our industry.
Mike and the project and everything in one word, professional.
All right, so that's Mike's brand video. I just want to point out that this is kind of where most other videographers and video production companies start and end. They make the video and they say, here, there you go, best of luck. But we had some goals, didn't we? So let's step in and take a look at the goals. First thing, a little backstory. We launched Mike's new website and his video just before Martin Luther King weekend, January 2013. Why? That was strategic. That's the first long weekend after the holidays. Everything's starting to calm down. You've got an extra day. You're starting to look into the future and think about the spring, the summer. How can we improve our quality of life? Well, let's do something about the house, that project we've been thinking of. We wanted to be there. We were there. We were ready when thinking turned in that direction. So we had a campaign goal to create a brand video which compels viewers to schedule a consultation. Well, how are we going to measure that? Oh yeah, we got to measure. Well, we went old school on this. No analytics, two simple things. Every person who called to schedule a consultation, called the home office, we asked them two questions. Did you watch Mike's brand video? Did you visit his website? Well, let's see what the outcomes were. Over 90% of new leads confirmed visiting the website, and over 80% of the new leads confirmed watching the brand video before scheduling a consultation. So if we were to stop right there, I personally would be very happy, and I know that Mike is already very pleased. But we had some other goals. We had a company goal. We wanted to increase the number of new job leads by 25% over the next 2 years. So what were the outcomes? 2013, new leads were up by 22%. We nearly met our goal in the first year. As of the third quarter, right now, 2014, already up 30% new leads. Great news. As a bonus, Mike this year just opened up a second workshop in May, which is dedicated to that custom millwork and that fine carpentry and those built-ins that he creates for custom homes and even for old antique homes as well. But it didn't end there. We really, overall, we had a big win that we didn't even choose to measure. And that was that sales went up in 2013, 14%. And as of the second quarter, sales are already up 18%, with the last 2 quarters yet to be counted where the majority of Mike's big jobs get finished before the holidays. So we are optimistic that that number will rise from 18%. So now we're going to take what we've learned here about goals and we're going to jump right into targeted video. So what is targeted video? Targeted video is a form of inbound marketing. This is where your prospects or clients are searching for the answers to their questions to solve a particular problem or take advantage of an opportunity, and your videos are there waiting with an answer to their questions. What questions am I talking about? What client questions? I'm talking about frequently asked questions. I'm talking about the questions that you and your business answer every day, every week, every month, or every year. So what I want to do is I want to show you our video FAQ series. Just to give you a little background, we just launched, we've been building it. We have 8 videos. We have over 20 video questions written in the queue to be produced. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk you through going deep and talking about context and talking about, again, the minimum viable conversion and purpose. And then we're going to get into how those elements influence where we want to host the series. What type of video hosting we're going to use. How are these videos going to be found when people are searching for them? And last, how are we choosing to measure the success? So the obvious place to start is to take a look at the first video. What is a video FAQ series? A video frequently asked questions series can allow you to answer your top 10 to 20 client questions. The questions you and your staff answer over and over again on the phone, in sales meetings, or even in consultations. Our video FAQ series starts right here, right now. As you'll see in watching our series, we'll be answering your questions, telling you exactly what you want to know about our business. And we'll be answering your questions about video production. But we're also going to go a step further. We're going to show you how you can use video to your full business advantage. For example, watch our next video. How do I use a video FAQ series? I'm talking about your video at Artie Media's Video FAQs. Okay, so let's dive right into context. Obviously, we understand that the purpose of the series is to answer a question and to educate the viewer. But with later videos in the series, we're also going to solve a problem. We're going to take a specific business model and give them a model for video. And one of the ones we have up right now is how can a dentist use video? So now let's move on and take a look at the minimum viable conversion and the ultimate conversion along the buyer's journey. Obviously, we just watched the first video FAQ, and that comes in at the awareness. It tells us what it's all about. Well, somebody watches that video, what's the minimum viable conversion we want for them to watch the second video, right? Ultimate conversion, if they're so incredibly thrilled after that 1 minute of information, then they can call and schedule a consultation with Artie Media. That would be the ultimate conversion. So now let's step in and let's learn a little bit more. How do I use a video FAQ series? Let's take a look at how to use a video frequently asked questions series and examine some of its benefits. As I said in our first video, a video FAQ series lets you quickly show people exactly what they want to know about your business and answers the most common questions about your products and services. Providing answers to frequently asked questions removes doubt from the client's mind and allows them to focus squarely on what your products or services do best. Answering questions also accelerates the sales process, because once questions are answered, a client's next move is to contact you or make an online purchase right there and then. By answering common questions quickly and clearly, you can become an authority in your field. The more questions you answer, the more you're able to expand client knowledge, enrich their experience, and add value to your products and services. A video FAQ series placed on your website, YouTube, or Vimeo channel is available 24/7, 365 days a year. Allowing people to learn about you and your products or services at their own pace takes the pressure off the viewers and your staff. Answering questions in this way saves your staff time, and time is money. By placing your video FAQ series online, you'll also gain greater visibility in search engine results. Did you know that more and more people are using their computer and mobile devices' voice recognition capabilities to search? So when clients are speaking into their computer, tablet, or mobile device to ask a question, your video FAQ series pops up in their search with the answer. Try asking your search engine, what is video SEO Boston? The last time I looked, we had achieved a front page result for this question. As you can see, the benefits of a video FAQ series are compelling. Be sure to check out more of our video FAQ series right here. I'm talking about your video at Artie Media's Video FAQs. Okay, so let's step back into context. So this is the second video. This really takes us fully into awareness and consideration, and possibly even into decision for somebody who's thinking about a video FAQ series. And what's the minimum viable conversion we want? Well, let's really just talk about the whole rest of the series. We really want them to continue to watch these video FAQs until all their questions are answered, at which point the minimum viable conversion becomes contact us for a consultation. The ultimate conversion remains the same, contact us for a consultation. Now let's talk about video hosting, and let's talk about where I'm hosting and why. And in order to make that decision, we have to consider minimum viable conversion and ultimate conversion. So when we think about hosting, let's say on artiemedia.com. Can we go to artiemedia.com, watch one of the video FAQ series videos, and then immediately watch the next one? Well, yes, it's designed that way. What about if we put it on YouTube and it's up on the channel and all the videos are there and you can watch one and boom, can you click and watch the next one? Well, yeah, absolutely. So in those terms, pretty equal. YouTube or hosting on artiemedia.com, about the same. Ultimate conversion? What if somebody wants to make contact with us? Well, if they're on artiemedia.com, they watch the video and they go, you know what? It's time to reach out. Well, on page, there are 3 to 5 different ways to contact us that either require 0 clicks or 1 click. What about YouTube? So you're in the YouTube environment, you're watching the video, and you think, yeah, you know what? All right, let's give them a call. So then you have to find the link to artiemedia.com. Is it under the About? Oh, there it is. Okay, and 2 clicks. It's 2 clicks already. For me, that's a deal breaker. But I'll let you in on a really big secret here. Most people aren't aware of this. When people are in the YouTube environment, they convert less than 1% of the time. What do I mean by convert? They're watching your video and then they want to contact you, and they less than 1% of the time choose to leave YouTube and go to your website. Amazing. It's like 0.67%. And there's a reason, because YouTube isn't built for that. YouTube wants to keep you there. You watch that video and then 12 other choices come up on the screen, plus there are the 10 over here that they're suggesting. And you're trying to get them to watch your videos that are all at the bottom here. So there's just too much going on. It works for some things, not for this. So really, ultimately, why do we choose to be on artiemedia.com? Because it best supports both our minimum viable conversion and our ultimate conversion goals. Great. Now let's step into search. How are my videos going to be found? Well, first of all, we've search engine optimized every one of our web pages. And we've done it for all the obligatory keywords that you would expect: video production Boston, corporate video production, small business video production, nonprofit. Then we also optimize for different services and then different types of videos. So there are a myriad of ways to find it. But what we've also done is taken each video and video search engine optimized it, which is a separate process entirely. What does that mean? Taking and doing video SEO allows Google, Yahoo, and Bing to essentially read and index the contents of your video, right? So how do they do that? Well, we do several different things. We create closed captions for the video FAQ series. We also create transcripts, another way the search engines can read. And then we send the search engines a video sitemap. And this is essentially a list of all the different videos that we have. And we hand it to them and say, don't forget about us, because we got a lot of stuff going on over here. That way, when one of our prospects is searching and they have a specific question in mind, maybe they heard about video FAQ series today, this is what happens.
What is a video FAQ series?
First result in the page is for our video FAQ series. It actually found the transcripts page, but on the transcripts page, we have all of the videos there for you, so you can click and watch any one of the videos. What about the second result? What is a video FAQ series? Oh, it's their question, but it's also the title to the video. So we've shown them the answer to their question. So what else do we have? Further down on the page, we see video FAQ series, and there's a company there, Bullhorn Media. Well, what's that? That's actually an article that we've written for the owner, Chris Rains, at Bullhorn Media, and they're based in Nashville, and that's on his blog. So now let's step into one more example. So let's say last Sunday, there's a C-level suite executive sitting watching the Patriots do really well, has the iPad in hand, and has been really doing some serious thinking about adding video to the marketing mix, has a very specific idea of what it is they want to do, but there's this question that's nagging in the back of their mind.
How much does a video cost in Boston?
So that's a very specific question we're answering. And right at the top of that search is, of course, the answer and the question. How much does a video cost? Great. So now if that executive watches that video and we are able to provide value, chances are they're going to continue on, again, watching all the videos until all their questions are answered. And that is what a video FAQ series is all about. Helping your viewer complete the buyer's journey by answering all of their questions. So that's what we're doing. That's what we think everybody else should be doing. And now we want to talk about, how do we measure it? Do we look at views? Well, everybody only used to look at views. And now it's become apparent that views on their own don't mean a lot. They're really just a vanity number. You can't even tell often whether someone has watched your video all the way through. So what would we look at? Well, we'd look at engagement, on-page engagement of videos, referring pages. When they watch a video, where do they come from? Where do they go to after? So let's dig in for just a moment. Let's take a look at analytics. And what we're looking at here is a list of some of my videos. And over in the far right column, it shows us how many views. See, the top video has 32 views. And so how are views useful here? Well, we can see which video videos are doing better than the others, and we can learn from that, especially if there's some relationship like with the FAQs between those different videos. If there's a part 1, part 2, we can see what the follow-up was. Then we can also take a look at the very top row there, 88%, that's engagement. 32 people watched it and completed 88% of the video. We can also dig into the individual video itself. And we have here on that graph is a heat map. It represents a timeline. The beginning of the video on your left, all the way to the right, is the timeline of the video. So let's look down at the number 80, 80 visitors. So we've had 80 visitors come to this page and a play rate for the video of 55%. That means that 44 people watched the video. But wait, we've got 51 plays. What does that mean? That means some people watched or rewatched all or part of the video. And the orange area up in the graph shows us the actual areas in the videos where they rewatched it. Why is that important? Because we can now ask questions about, well, why are they rewatching that portion? Is it because we were unclear and we need to do better in our next iteration? Or was it because this is valuable information and they wanted to make sure that they grabbed it and held onto it, put it in their pocket for later? Okay, so we've talked about engagement. Now let's talk about referring pages. Somebody's just watched the What is a Video FAQ series video. Where did they come from? Did they come from another page on Artie Media? Did they come from watching another video? Were they on a text-based page? Or did they come in through social media? Because somebody here today decided to get on Twitter, someone from South Shore Chamber of Commerce decided to say, check out video FAQs, check out Artie Media. Or was it because we started a campaign to let people know about the value of a video FAQ series on LinkedIn? Or was it because we wrote an article and posted it on Google Plus or Facebook? Or did you write some comments today about your experience here and post it on Facebook? So where did they come in from? They watched the video, then where did they go to? Did they bounce because it's just not their cup of tea, and that's okay because they're not a qualified buyer? Or did they continue on? And did they watch the next video in the series on artiemedia.com? Or did they go to a page specific to their needs? So really, the last steps here is we need to say, you know what? We need to pick a couple KPIs, key performance indicators to measure. They have to make sense for the type of video we have. And then we have to take those measurements, we have to get them into a spreadsheet, we have to document. And then I recommend looking at the stats year over year. Now, if you're doing some social media and you're running campaigns on some different platforms to support the rollout of the video, yeah, you might look every month and see how that did for the last couple weeks. You might look every quarter. But the big rule here is be patient. Think about Mike's brand video. When did we produce that? 18 months ago. And it's only now that we're really starting to understand a year over year and the goals and the benefits. So just to recap, we know we always have to serve a purpose when we're creating a video that creates value for the viewer. We always have to identify our goals from the top grandiose goals, visionary goals, right down to the most granular on page. What do you want them to do after they've watched the video goals? And then we have to measure and we have to document. But the last thought I want to leave you with is that the most valuable video marketing assets you have are the questions you answer every day. Frequently asked questions. I believe this is the future. I want to thank you so much for coming out this morning, and a big thanks again to the South Shore Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much.